The stars outside burned like silver fire, casting pale light across the alien city. Tonight was no ordinary night. Tonight, a human man had done the unthinkable. He had wedded an alien woman. The hall was filled with strange music, voices that sang in a tongue he could barely understand. Tall figures with shimmering skin and glowing eyes moved around him. Their robes flowed like liquid light, their hair sparkled with threads of silver, and their stares pierced into his very soul. At the center of it all stood his bride. She was unlike any woman he had ever seen. Her skin glowed faintly blue, her long hair shimmered as if woven with starlight, and her eyes, those deep, endless eyes, were enough to make his chest tighten. She looked at him not with cold duty, but with something softer, something dangerous. He should have been afraid. Every story he had ever heard warned of marrying aliens, of strange customs, of men who vanished after sharing their vows. But when she had placed her hand on his, when her lips whispered the binding words, he could not look away. He was hers now. The feast ended with laughter that did not feel human. The alien nobles bowed, the torches dimmed, and the hall slowly emptied. Finally, only the bride and her new husband remained. Servants guided them toward a towering chamber carved from black stone, its walls covered with symbols that glowed. Faintly in the dark, the wedding chamber. He stepped inside and felt the air grow heavier. The bed was enormous, far larger than any human bed, carved from crystal and layered with silken sheets that shimmered like water. Candles flickered along the walls, their flames blue instead of gold. The door closed behind him with a thud that echoed like a warning. He turned, his pulse racing. His bride stood by the door, silent, her eyes unreadable. Then slowly she walked toward him, each step light and graceful. "You are mine now," she said softly. Her voice carried both comfort and command. "And I am yours." His throat tightened. He nodded. Yes. For a long moment, silence filled the chamber. He could hear only his own heartbeat. She sat beside him, close enough that he could feel. The warmth of her skin, even though it was not human warmth, was different. Deeper, like the heat of fire beneath ice. Her hand brushed his, and he shivered. She smiled faintly, as though she knew every thought running through his mind. The night deepened. Shadows shifted along the walls. The candles flickered strangely, as if something moved behind them. He sat up, his eyes narrowing. What was that? He whispered. The alien bride tilted her head. What was what? He looked around. The chamber seemed too big, too empty, too quiet, the kind of quiet that hides whispers. He felt eyes on him, but when he turned, there was nothing. You did not think you married only me, did you? She asked suddenly. Her words cut through the silence like a blade. His chest tightened. What do you mean? Her lips curved into a mysterious smile, but she said nothing more. Instead, she leaned back against the pillows, her silver hair falling around her shoulders like a veil. He tried to relax, but the feeling grew stronger. Someone else was here. The hairs on his arms rose. The shadows stretched too far. The air carried a faint, sweet scent, like flowers blooming where no flowers grew. He closed his eyes, willing himself to sleep. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was fear. Maybe a whisper. So faint, so close. His eyes shot open. The bride lay beside him, her breathing slow and calm. But the whisper had not come from her. It had come from the other side of the bed. He froze. His skin prickled. Slowly, carefully, he turned his head. The sheets shifted. A shape moved. And then another pair of glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. His breath caught in his throat. There was someone else. Another figure, nearly identical to his bride, lay against the silken sheets. Her skin shimmered with the same faint blue glow. Her eyes burned with the same alien fire. But her smile was different, sharper, playful, dangerous. Before he could speak, another movement came from the foot of the bed. The sheets rustled again. A third figure rose from the shadows, her long hair spilling down her back. Her gaze locked on him. 3 women, 3 pairs of eyes, 3 alien sisters. He sat frozen, his heart pounding so loud he thought it might wake. The dead, the first bride touched his arm gently, as though calming him. "Do not fear," she whispered. "This is our way." "Our way?" He stammered, his voice shaking. The second sister leaned closer, her lips curling into a smile. "Did you think you married only one of us, human?" The third's voice was softer, almost mocking. "No, human, you married the bloodline. And the bloodline comes in many forms." The human's throat went dry. His pulse thundered. He wanted to speak, to demand answers, but his voice betrayed him. He was surrounded, trapped, caught in a secret he had never been told. The chamber grew hotter, the air heavier, as the sister's glowing eyes locked onto him. The bride the first touched his cheek softly. "Rest, husband," she whispered. "Tomorrow all will be explained." But he did not rest. He could not. He lay there wide-eyed, every muscle tense, with 3 alien women sharing his bed. And in the darkness he wondered, what had he truly married into? The night had been long, too long. He hadn't slept. How could he, with 3 pairs of glowing eyes watching him from the shadows of the vast bed? Every time he shut his eyes, he felt movement beside him, soft whispers brushing his ears. When the alien sun finally rose, its light poured through the crystal walls of the chamber, painting the sheets in shades of blue and silver. He blinked, hoping maybe the figures from the night had only been a dream. But no 3 women still lay around him. His bride sat upright, calm and graceful, her hair falling like a river of silver. Beside her, one sister lounged lazily, her expression sharp like a predator toying with prey. The third knelt at the foot of the bed, staring at him with curious eyes, as if trying to read his very soul. His chest tightened. What is this?" he asked, his voice hoarse. "Why are you here? Why didn't anyone tell me?" The bride did not answer right away. Instead, she looked at her sisters, as though waiting for one of them to speak first. The bold one, the sister with the dangerous smile, leaned close to him. Her voice was low, almost playful. "Because human. If you had known, you would have run away before the wedding." His stomach dropped. "Run away? Why would I?" The shy sister cut him off, her words trembling. "Because our people are not like yours. One woman does not marry one man. When one sister chooses a mate, all sisters must share him. It is our blood oath. It is our way." The words hit him like a hammer. He shook his head. "No, I married her." He pointed to his bride. "Not you, not anyone else, just her." His bride's eyes softened, but there was sorrow in them too. She touched his hand gently. "I warned them you would not accept. Humans are different." The bold sister laughed. "Different or weak?" She leaned closer, her lips brushing his ear. "You tremble, human. But is it fear or something else?" He jerked back, his heart racing. "Stay away from me." But she only smiled wider, as though his resistance excited her more. The bride's voice cut through the tension. "Enough." Her tone was sharp now, carrying authority. "He is my husband. He will not be forced." The bold sister hissed, her eyes flashing. "If he refuses, then the elders will call the marriage false. Do you understand what that means, sister? His life will not be safe. Neither will yours." The room grew heavy with silence. The human's chest tightened as he tried to make sense of it. His marriage wasn't just between 2 people. It was tied to politics, to survival, to rules he had never agreed to. Finally he stood, his fists clenched. "Tell me the truth. Why am I here? Why me? Out of all the men in this galaxy, why choose a human?" The shy sister lowered her gaze, whispering softly, "Because humans are rare." You carry something our bloodline needs." He froze. "What do you mean?" The bride's voice was quiet, almost broken. "It is not just marriage. It is survival. Our bloodline is dying. Without you, our future fades." His pulse hammered in his ears. Survival? He wasn't a husband. He was a solution, a tool, a resource. The bold sister's eyes gleamed as she leaned forward again. "So now you understand. You are not here because of love. You are here because our people need what only you can give." The words twisted. Like a knife in his gut, his mouth went dry. "So unjust, don't say it," his bride interrupted, her voice sharp with pain. "You are more than that to me. I chose you not for survival, but for you. But my sisters," she looked at them bitterly, "they see only duty." The tension in the chamber grew thick, every breath heavy with unspoken words. Then, the shy sister suddenly moved closer, her voice trembling but urgent. "But you must decide quickly. The elders are coming tonight. If they see you resist us, they will take you away." His blood ran cold. "Take me away? Where?" No one answered. The silence itself was the answer. The bold sister smiled again, her eyes flashing with dangerous amusement. "You are trapped, human. Either accept all of us, or accept your death." He stared at them, his mind racing. His bride's hand trembled in his, her eyes begging him to believe her, to trust her. The shy sister's gaze pleaded with silent fear. And the bold one only smirked, waiting for him to break. The walls seemed to close in. The air grew heavier. The truth settled like chains around him. He had walked into a marriage, but he had awakened into a trap. And tonight, when the alien elders arrived, his choice or his refusal would decide his fate. The sun had long set, and the alien palace glowed with silver torches that burned without smoke. The human walked slowly beside his bride through a long hall. Strange symbols lined the walls, shifting as though alive, their light pulsing like a heartbeat. He felt the weight of eyes on him. The alien sisters followed closely, their presence heavy, suffocating. Each step echoed like a drumbeat of fate. Tonight, the elders would arrive. Tonight, he would learn why he had truly been brought here. His bride leaned close and whispered, "Do not speak unless spoken to. They will test you." He frowned. "Test me how?" She didn't answer. Her eyes only flicked to her sisters, who walked in silence, their faces unreadable. At the end of the hall stood a massive door carved from black crystal. Alien guards with skin like polished stone stood on either side, their spears glowing faintly blue. As the doors opened, a chill swept over him. The chamber inside was vast, lit only by hanging orbs that floated in the air. At its center sat the elders, towering figures wrapped in robes that seemed woven from shadow. Their eyes glowed brighter than any torch, watching him like hunters watching prey. The human swallowed hard. He wanted to speak, but his voice stayed trapped in his throat. One of the elders raised a long hand. His voice was deep, layered, as though several beings spoke at once. "Human, do you understand what you have taken?" The question chilled him. He glanced at his bride, but she only lowered her head. I married her," he said carefully. The elders' voices rumbled in unison, shaking the chamber. "No, you married the lineage. And with that, you bound yourself to the forbiddens. Custom." The human stiffened. "Forbiddens? What?" The bold sister stepped forward, her smile sharp. Tell him the truth he should have known before the vows." The eldest elder's glowing eyes bore into him. "Our bloodline was cursed. Generations ago, no single sister can bear the burden alone. When one weds, the others must join. Only then is the bond strong enough to survive." The human's stomach twisted. "So this is not marriage, this is slavery. A trap." The bold sister's laugh echoed cruelly. "Call it what you like, human. But without you, we all wither. Without us, you will not survive here." His chest tightened. He turned to his bride. Did you know? Did you know this whole time? Her face was pale, her voice broken. Yes, but I prayed I could shield you from it. I prayed love could be enough. He stepped back, anger boiling in his chest. You should have told me. You should have let me choose. The elders' voices rolled like thunder. Choice is a human luxury. In our world, duty binds stronger than desire. The shy sister stepped closer, her eyes wet with fear. Please, you must accept us. If you refuse, the punishment is death. Not just for you, for her too. She pointed at the bride, her hand. Trembling, his heart pounded. His bride, killed because of him? Because he could not accept their twisted rule. He clenched his fists. And if I refuse anyway? The elders leaned forward as one, their voices cold and final. Then your body will be broken, and your blood drained into the stones, so that the lineage may seek another. The human froze. He was not just a husband, he was a vessel, a sacrifice. His very blood was currency. The bold sister's smile widened. You see now, you cannot run, you cannot hide. You are ours, human. The only question is, will you surrender willingly, or will you die screaming? Silence filled the chamber, heavy as iron chains. For a long moment, he could not breathe. His bride's trembling hand reached for his, but he pulled away. Every eye in the room was on him, waiting for his answer. Finally he spoke, his voice low, steady. If I am bound to your custom, then I will choose how to face it, on my terms. The elder's glowing eyes narrowed. Defiance? He lifted his chin. No, humanity. The chamber shook with whispers, the elder's robes rippling as though caught in a storm. The sisters exchanged looks, one fearful, one furious, one unreadable dot. Then the eldest elder raised his hand, silencing the chamber. So be it. Tomorrow the trial of union will decide if the human speaks truth, or if his bones will decorate our walls. The doors slammed shut behind them. The human stood frozen, his chest heaving, the weight of his fate pressing down on him. His bride's eyes glistened with tears as she whispered, You should not have defied them. But he only stared into the darkness, his voice low, cold. I didn't come this far to be anyone's sacrifice. And in that moment, he knew tomorrow, the real battle would begin. The palace was silent that night, but silence here did not mean peace. It meant danger. It meant watching eyes in the shadows and whispers behind the walls. The human sat alone in the vast chamber, staring at the glowing markings etched across the stone floor. He could still hear the elders' voices in his head. Tomorrow, the trial of union will decide your fate. Trial, union, death. Each word felt like a chain tightening around his throat. The crystal doors opened, and his bride stepped in, her face pale, her silver hair flowing loose. She knelt beside him, her hand reaching for his. You should not have defied them, she whispered. He pulled his hand back, his jaw tightened. I didn't cross the stars to become a prisoner. I married you, not your entire bloodline. Tears filled her eyes, but before she could speak, the bold sister entered. Her steps were sharp, confident, like claws striking stone. She leaned against the wall, her lips curling into that dangerous smile. You speak as though you have power here, human, she said. But you don't. Your resistance is amusing, but it will not last. Tomorrow you will kneel. His eyes narrowed. I won't kneel for anyone. The bold sister's smile widened. She moved closer, circling him like a predator. Oh, you will. If not for me, then for her. She pointed at the bride. Do you not understand? If you fail tomorrow, she dies with you. His stomach tightened. He clenched his fists, but he did not look away. Then I'll fight to make sure neither of us dies. The bold sister's laughter echoed coldly through the chamber. Fight? Against the trial? Against the elders? You are a fool. The door creaked again. The shy sister slipped inside quietly, her eyes downcast. She carried a small bowl that glowed faintly in her hands. She walked to him slowly, nervously. "I brought this," she whispered. "It will give you strength for tomorrow." The bold sister scoffed. Pathetic. Giving him false hope. The shy one flinched, clutching the bowl tighter. "It's not false. He needs to survive." Their voices rose, sharp as blades. The bride stood between them, her voice firm for the first time. "Enough. He is not a prize to be fought over." She turned to him, her eyes full of quiet desperation. "But you must understand, husband. This trial is not a game. It is not a duel of strength or weapons. It is a test of spirit, of loyalty. You cannot win it with fists." The human's jaw tightened. "Then I'll win it with will." The bold sister leaned close, her lips nearly brushing his ear. "And if your will breaks, if you fail, they will make you scream until your voice is gone. They will bleed you until your body is nothing but dust. Do you still resist then?" Her words dripped like poison, but he didn't flinch. His voice came steady, cold. "Yes, because if I bend now, I'm already dead." The shy sister's eyes widened, almost glowing with admiration. She had never heard anyone speak to the bold one like that. The bold sister's smile faded, her eyes narrowing in something between anger and interest. "Careful, human. You may make me like you more than I should." The bride stepped closer, shielding him. Her voice trembled, but it carried strength. "Leave him. He is mine. His choice is his own." The bold sister's eyes flicked between them. Then she turned and strode out of the chamber, her laugh echoing behind her. "We'll see how long his defiance lasts." The door shut, leaving only the bride, the shy sister, and the human. The shy one placed the glowing bowl into his hands, her voice soft but urgent. "You are strong, but strength alone will not save you. Tomorrow they will try to break your mind. They will show you visions, fears, things that feel more real than life. If you falter even once, they will call you unworthy." He looked down at the strange liquid inside the bowl, its light swirling like trapped stars. "And this? What does it do?" The shy one lowered her gaze. "It shows you truth. Drink it, and you may see what lies hidden. But be warned, it does not only show what is real, it shows what you fear most." His fingers tightened around the bowl. The choice was heavy. If he drank, he risked madness. If he refused, he entered the trial blind. His bride's hand touched his shoulder gently. "Please, whatever you do, do not give in tomorrow. Even if they break you, even if you see death itself, don't surrender. For if you do, they will take you from me forever." He looked at her, at the fear in her glowing eyes, at the way her hands trembled though she tried to hide it. Finally, he set the bowl aside. "I don't need visions. I don't need false strength. I'll face them as I am, as human." The shy sister's lips parted, shocked. "You'll walk into death." He met her gaze with fire in his eyes. "No, I'll walk into tomorrow as myself. And if their trial wants to break me, let it try." The chamber fell silent, heavy with tension. The shy sister lowered her gaze, unable to argue. His bride's eyes glistened with tears again. But this time, her lips curved into a faint smile. "Then tomorrow, my husband, they will learn what it means to face a human who refuses to kneel." The night before the trial stretched endlessly. The human lay awake on the wide crystal bed, his mind refusing to rest. He had chosen resistance, but resistance was not easy, not when every shadow in the chamber seemed alive, not when the future of his bride and his own life hung on the trial of union. He turned his head. His bride slept beside him, her face calm, almost peaceful. But even in sleep, her hand clung to his arm, as if afraid he would vanish. The sound of soft footsteps pulled his eyes toward the far side of the chamber. The shy sister stepped from the shadows, her gaze low. her hands trembling as she carried a small cloth bundle. "You shouldn't be awake," she whispered. He sat up, narrowing his eyes. "Neither should you." She walked closer, setting the bundle down on the edge of the bed. Inside were strange fruits that glowed faintly, their skins shimmering like liquid metal. "These will steady your body for tomorrow," she said quietly. Then her voice dropped even lower. "But they cannot steady your heart." Her words cut deeper than he expected. He studied her. Unlike her bold sister, who wore sharp smiles, or his bride, who carried sorrow in her eyes, this one looked fragile. "Almost lost. Why are you helping me?" he asked. Her fingers twisted together nervously. "Because I don't want to see you die." "Or her." She glanced at the bride, sleeping soundly. "If you fail tomorrow, they will take her life too, and I cannot bear to lose her." His chest tightened. For the first time, he saw something human in her fear, love, and desperation. Before he could speak again, the chamber doors creaked open. The bold sister entered, her stride sharp, her eyes gleaming. "Still awake, human?" she asked, her voice dripping with amusement. "Good. I prefer my prey restless." The shy sister flinched at her words, stepping back. But the bold one moved closer, her eyes fixed on him. "You think you're strong," she said, circling him like a predator. "But strength is not what the elders want. They want submission. They want loyalty not to your bride, but to the bloodline. That means me. That means her. That means all of us." His jaw clenched. "I didn't agree to that." Her lips curved into a dangerous smile. "You didn't have a choice." The air grew tense as she leaned closer, so near he could feel the strange warmth radiating from her body. "But perhaps," she whispered, "you could learn to enjoy it." He shoved her back, anger flashing in his eyes. "Don't." Her smile faltered, but only for a moment. Then she laughed softly. "You resist now, but tomorrow the trial will strip you bare. And when it does, you'll have no shield. Not even love will save you." The shy sister spoke suddenly, her voice shaking. "Stop it. You're pushing him closer to death." The bold one turned sharply, her eyes narrowing. "And what would? You know of survival, little sister? You hide in corners while others fight for blood and lineage." The shy one's lips trembled, but she stood her ground. Better to hide than to destroy him. Their voices clashed, sharp and bitter, echoing through the chamber. The human stood between them, his chest rising with frustration. He turned to his bride, who had stirred awake from their argument. Her glowing eyes opened slowly, sadness clouding them. "This is what they want," she whispered. "To break you before the trial even begins, to make you doubt yourself." The human's fists clenched. He looked at all three sisters, the one who tempted him with fire, the one who begged him with fear, and the one he had chosen with his vows. His voice came low, steady like steel. "Listen to me. Tomorrow I won't bend to your customs. I won't bow to your elders. My loyalty belongs to her." He pointed to his bride, "and no one else. If that means death, then so be it." The bold sister hissed in anger. "Fool." The shy sister lowered her eyes, whispering, "Brave." His bride's tears glistened in the torchlight. "Human," she said softly, "if you die tomorrow, I die too, and still, I cannot ask you to betray yourself. Do what you must. But know this, I would rather die with you than live in chains." The human's chest tightened at her words. His decision was made, but as the torches dimmed, the bold sister's laughter echoed in the darkness. "Then tomorrow," she whispered, "we shall see how much your defiance is worth." The chamber fell silent again. Yet the silence was not empty. It carried the weight of desire, of duty, of death waiting just beyond the dawn. And as the human closed his eyes, he knew tomorrow's trial would not only test his strength, it would test his very soul. The next morning, the palace shook with the sound of drums. Deep, hollow strikes that echoed through the stone walls, like the heartbeat of something ancient. The human was led down the long crystal hall by guards, whose faces looked carved from stone. His bride walked beside him, silent, her hand trembling as it brushed against his. The sisters followed close behind, one bold, her eyes sharp with cruel delight, and one shy, her gaze heavy with fear. At the end of the hall stood a vast doorway, its surface alive with shifting patterns of light. Beyond it, a chamber unlike any he had seen waited, the place of the trial of union. The elders were already there, seated high upon thrones of black crystal. Their glowing eyes followed his every step, burning into him. "Human," the eldest elder's voice rumbled, "today you will face the trial. Pass, and you bind yourself to the lineage. Fail, and your blood feeds the stones." The human clenched his fists. "I will face it, but on my terms." The elders did not answer. Instead, they raised their hands, and the floor beneath him pulsed with light. The chamber warped, twisted. The world dissolved. Suddenly, he was no longer in the palace. He stood in a barren wasteland under a blood-red sky. The air was heavy, filled with whispers that slithered into his ears. "Human," a voice hissed, "you cannot win." Shapes emerged from the shifting red mist. His bride stood before him, her silver hair tangled, her eyes filled with sorrow. "You will fail me," she whispered. "Your defiance will kill us both." His heart lurched. "No, this isn't real." But then the bold sister appeared, her lips curling into a mocking smile. "It doesn't matter what's real. What matters is what you choose." She stepped closer, her voice low, taunting. "Do you choose love or survival?" Another figure emerged, the shy sister. Tears streamed down her glowing cheeks. "If you choose only her," she said, pointing at the bride, "we will all die. Is that the loyalty you boast of? To doom us all?" The whispers grew louder, turning into screams that clawed at his mind. The ground cracked beneath him. His chest tightened with doubt. He dropped to his knees, clutching his head. This is not real." The bride's voice cut through the chaos. "Then prove it. If your loyalty is true, prove it now." He raised his eyes. The three sisters stood before him, their faces blurred by the swirling mist. One reached for him with love, one with desperation, one with fire. The elders' voices thundered above it all. "Choose. Choose or be unworthy." His blood roared in his ears. This was the trial, not strength, not battle, but a choice meant to shatter him. He rose slowly to his feet, breathing hard. "You want me to bend. You want me to be yours. But I am not a prize. I am not a vessel. I am a man. And my loyalty is not to your rules. It is to the vow I made." The ground trembled. The sky split open with blinding light. He turned to his bride, his voice steady despite the storm. "I chose you when I took your hand. I still choose you now, even if it means death." The bold sister hissed, "Then you are a fool." The shy one wept, "Then you are brave." The bride's eyes filled with light. "Then you are mine." The illusions shattered like glass, the red sky dissolved. The screams faded. He fell to his knees on the cold stone floor of the trial chamber, gasping for breath. The elders watched in silence. The glowing patterns on the floor dimmed. For a moment, the air was heavy with judgment. Finally, the eldest elder spoke. "He has resisted the illusions. He has chosen loyalty. But he has not chosen the lineage." The bold sister stepped forward, her voice sharp. "Then he has failed." The shy sister's voice cracked as she whispered, "No, he has passed. He stayed true. That is loyalty." The elders' eyes burned brighter, the chamber shaking as their voices rumbled together. "The trial is not ended. His choice binds him to death or to us. Tomorrow the judgment will fall." The floor split open with a deafening crack, and the human was pulled back by his bride just before the stone swallowed him. Guards rushed forward, dragging him away as the chamber's light dimmed. The bold sister's laughter followed him. You survived today, human, but tomorrow your defiance will kill you. The shy one's eyes pleaded silently as she was dragged. Away with her. And his bride held him close, whispering in a trembling voice, You fought well. But the true judgment is yet to come. The human clenched his fists, fire in his eyes. He had resisted illusions, he had stood by his vow. But the war for his fate and hers was only just beginning. The palace trembled with the sound of the judgment drums. Each strike echoed like thunder, shaking the crystal walls. The trial of union had ended, but the elders were not satisfied. Today, the final choice would be made. His choice. The human stood in the center of the great chamber, chains of light wrapped around his arms. His bride stood beside him, her face pale with fear. Behind them, the bold sister's smile burned sharp as a blade, while the shy one's eyes shimmered with silent tears. Above them, the elders' voices rolled like a storm. Human, you resisted. The illusions, you chose loyalty. But your vow was narrow, bound only to one. Our custom demands more. Will you now accept the lineage, all sisters, all bonds, or will you refuse and face death? The chamber fell into silence. All eyes turned. To him. His heart pounded, but his voice was steady. I made my vow to her. He looked at his bride. Not to all of you, not to your rules, to her. The bold sister hissed, stepping forward. Then you condemn her. Do you understand? Your selfishness kills her as well. The shy one whispered. Urgently, please, don't let her die. His chest tightened. The trap closed in on him. If he chose the lineage, he betrayed himself. If he refused, his bride would be executed with him. The elders leaned forward, their glowing eyes piercing. Choose, human. Accept the sisters or accept death. The human lifted his head, his voice calm, strong. No, I choose neither. The chamber shook. The elders' voices thundered in outrage. There is no third path. But he stood tall, unflinching. There's always a third path. You bound me to your rules, but I never gave you my soul. You cannot control choice, and I choose to break your custom. Gasps rippled through the chamber. The bold sister's eyes widened in fury. Impossible, the shy one whispered, trembling. He defies the law. The human pulled against the chains of light, his voice rising. Your custom is built on fear. But love, true love, needs no chains. If my loyalty to her is not enough for you, then kill me. Kill us both, but you'll never own me. The chains of light tightened, burning his skin. His bride cried out, grabbing his hand. Tears streamed down her cheeks. You are a fool, but you are my fool. And if you fall, I fall with you. Something cracked. The chains glowed brighter, but instead of holding him, they began to shatter. Shards of light broke apart, scattering like falling stars. The elders roared in anger, their voices shaking the chamber. He breaks the binding. This cannot be. But it was happening. The more he resisted, the more the chains fractured. His defiance became strength. His vow, pure and unbroken, unraveled the curse itself. The bold sister screamed, fury twisting her face. No, without the custom, we will wither. The shy one fell to her knees, her eyes wide with awe. No, without fear, we may live free. The human pulled his bride close, his arm wrapped around her. Together, they stood as the last chains. Shattered in a blaze of light, the elders shrieked, their forms trembling, dissolving into shadows that recoiled from him. Their voices echoed one final time. Human, you have undone what was bound for centuries. You are dangerous. Then they vanished. The chamber fell silent. The drums stopped. The torches dimmed. The bold sister's face twisted with hatred. But her smile was gone. For the first time, fear flickered in her eyes. She turned and stormed from the hall without a word, The shy sister rose slowly, her gaze fixed on him. You broke the custom. No one ever dared." Her voice trembled, but a faint smile touched her lips. "Perhaps freedom is better than tradition." The human looked down at his bride. She gazed back at him, tears still shining in her eyes, but her lips curved into the faintest smile. "You risked everything," she whispered, "and you saved me." He brushed a strand of silver hair from her face. "I didn't save you. We saved each other." The palace stood quiet, no longer echoing with chains and rules, but with something new, something fragile, something dangerous. Freedom. For the first time, the alien sisters and their people faced a future without the forbidden custom. And it had been a human who shattered it. That night, as he lay beside his bride, he finally closed his eyes. Not because he was safe, not because the danger had passed, but because he knew one truth that no trial could break. He had chosen love, and love was stronger than fear.